So is homeschooling worth it? In this video, I'm gonna share with you what are my pros and cons and why and if it is worth it. Welcome back to my channel, Homeschool in Paradise, and welcome if you're new. My name is Magali. I have a 4 and a 6 years old, and we live in Hawaii. Before I start going too far ahead, I want to mention that this is part of a collaboration. It is hosted by Daisy from A Journey at the Home, so make sure to go check out her channel. It's going to be down below, and also the playlist that is going to have a lot of other homeschool mamas that are all going to be sharing their views on this topic. So personally, so like I said, my son is 6. He's going into first grade. Last year was our first year officially that we did kindergarten. Before that, we did half like preschool at home, and then the other half it was at a program that we have here on island. My daughter this year is going to be in preschool. I don't really require to do anything, but I know she's still going to be tagging along. So as a mom of 2 kids, since I've had my kids, I knew that I've always wanted to homeschool. That was me. I know that some other mom that homeschooled, it's not. But anyway, I always knew. So I researched since they were a baby. I keep reading. So I love homeschooling, but I know it's not a lot of other experience, but some yes, some decide to go to public school and then decide to homeschool after that. Every family is different, and every family is right as well. Every year is going to be different. So this is not to bash the public school system, because I went to public school and I loved it. I was a straight A student, but I've decided to homeschool my kids for a lot of reasons. So I'm going to share with you all my pros and cons. I have a list here down there because I don't want to forget anything. I juggled down in my mind what I wanted to share with you. So I would say, starting with the pros, my first pro would be the freedom for everything. So freedom of schedule. We do school 4 days a week, especially because of my work schedule. So I work evenings. I work about 4 to 5 evenings. So I homeschool in the morning. So it wouldn't really be possible for me to work that schedule and then have my kids in public school, because I wouldn't see my kids. So we homeschool in the morning, I go work out, and then I go work. So this schedule really works for us. I know it's just a time in our life that it's like that, but I want to spend more time with my kids. I know that, a lot of people say like, oh, you have a lot of patience, but I don't. Like sometimes, if I'm about to yell to my kids, I'm losing patience, I'm just gonna put myself in the bathroom or in my bedroom and I lock myself. I'm like, you know what, you guys figure it out, because I don't want to lash out on them. And then I take time for myself, so that really helps me. And then when I work, it's my happy place. That yes, it gets crazy at the restaurant, but this is still my happy place that I'm in with adults. So I like that socialization for myself, because I need to be outside of the home. And a lot of people think that homeschoolers just stay in their home all the time, but it doesn't have to be. Like, I'm rarely home. Literally today, I worked from 10 to 4 at the restaurant. It was crazy busy, and then I went to work out. My kids were there, some of my work, and then they were playing with kids, and I went to work out, coming home, eating, and then my husband is playing music. We're gonna go there, we're gonna see friends. So it doesn't have to be like always at home, okay? So and then also we like to travel. I'm from Canada, my husband is from Mexico, if you didn't know. Last February we went to Mexico for almost a month. We're planning to go, every year we're planning to do some trips, long trips, and then summer it's not always possible, depending of like the weather, but also for my work, because it's busy in summer in Hawaii, so I kind of need to be at work. So it just works for us to be homeschooling like that. Also, I think that homeschooling gives, it's giving my kids a better education in what is important for me. So I think it's really important for me to have the kids cleaning, doing their chores, cooking, all that like that you need to learn, like budgeting. I'm really bad at budgeting, and I think that, I love my mom, but she never really showed me how to budget and things like that. So I really want to include my kids in everything that is in the home to run a good home. and then to have art, music. I grew up doing a lot of art, not necessarily a lot of music. That's my husband, and I love that he's teaching that to our kids. But art, I think that a lot of schools now, they're cutting on budget and they're focusing more on like everything else, math, language, and that's so important. But I like, everything is important for me and I love reading and things like that. So it's everything that I want to be teaching my kids as a whole. And then also I can tailor my kids' education for them, and really, if they have like difficulty in one area, we can take it slower. So like right now, my son, he's 6.5, he is not reading yet and he's far from it, and I'm not stressing. I stopped halfway through like kindergarten to go through all that reading learning, because he's learning 3 languages. So I prefer him to be able to speak 3 languages, and then eventually he's gonna start learning how to read, and I'm not stressed about it. So I know he wants to learn, but his brain, it's a lot for his brain. So I know that I don't want to push him until he's ready. I know if he would be in public school, you know, he may be like being held back or like behind other kids, and I don't want him to feel like that, because he's so smart, and he's just gonna, he's gonna read when he's gonna be ready. We read so many books. Like last school year, that was just during our school time that we read like 280 books, and that's not including all the book that we read at night. So I want to keep that love of learning that they're learning, and like I prefer to have book learning. I know that online education and courses are great, and that's just my take, that I don't want to have them in screens. Yes, we use technology, we use YouTube videos and documentaries and things like that, but I want to keep it as a minimum. I don't like how in public school now from kindergarten they have like tablets and things like that. I don't want that, because soon enough they're gonna be doing things on screen, and I want to keep it as a minimal if I can. I also like how we can spend more time outside. I love if you've been around, you maybe know that I love the 1,000 hour outside challenge. So my goal is about like 1,500. My son does more. My oldest, he does more. I think we're gonna reach like 1,200, my daughter, but my son definitely did more. And then also I want to give more free play. I think is that it's so great to have kids doing a lot of free play, because they're learning all the time and using their imagination. So I really want to carve time in my day for that, and it gives us that opportunity. We can focus on also interest for kids. So my son is really into soccer, so we can really dive more deeply into focus and interest, and then they're going to be learning around that. And then their days is shorter. I mean, when you go to like public school, the day is so long, like 7:50 here until like, I think like 2 o'clock, something like that. I mean, for us, we can do our school. We're really, I mean, if we start like 10 o'clock by maybe 12:30, like 2.5 hours, it's plenty. And that's including like everything, the art and all the other project that we do. And then like interruptions and snacks, like 3 hours. So it's a lot shorter. Well, I want to share so another reason why I did decide to homeschool, it was like bowling. I would be scared that my son would be bowling, maybe because he's different, because he speaks 3 languages. But I mean, I was bullied a lot when I was a kid, and I don't want that for my son. So I just don't want to put him in that situation. And then for socialization, I mean, we always get that question, like, or see it online, like, oh, your kids are going to be weird or things like that. But I mean, a weird kid can be at home or at school. Like, it doesn't matter. It's just their personality. And I think that actually my kids are so social because of our lifestyle. So I think that it's going to have them better equipped on how to talk to different range of people. I mean, we are in a homeschool club, so there's kids from preschool all the way to high school, and then they're interacting with each other. When I go to work, I bring my kids for a couple hours there. My son loves to work, to help, to like bust the tables and things like that. And when he asks for a drink, I'm like, well, you have to earn your drink, you know, if like you get a strawberry lemonade or things like that. So, and then seeing me work, and then for them interacting with other people, dealing with customers, seeing me deal with customer, seeing the real life. I think that is what is socialization, because school is like, if you have a classroom, then it's just your age group and you're done dealing with a lot of other kids that are older or younger than you, as like for me, as an adult, I'm dealing with little kids all the way to really old people, and that's just real life. So I think it gives them, it's making them better equipped for real life, and that's what I want for my kids. And then honestly, I only have like 2 cons. So I would say first thing is that I'm super busy, like myself, because, well, it's not just because of homeschooling, because I decided to homeschool and then I also work. So if I'm like low season, 25 hours outside of the home, and then the YouTube channel, and then I also do Amazon videos review. But then if it's busy season, like 35 hours, usually those week I don't really homeschool much. But I would say like it's a busy schedule and you need to plan and things like that. But I like being busy. That's just my life. And then also the cost, because I mean, yes, there's a lot of free resources out there, but I'm the type of person that I'm researching, and yes, I'm gonna take what is best for my kids, but at the same time not that super expensive. Like I don't buy the curriculum that are like hundreds and hundreds of dollars, like, but it still adds up. So the cost, it can be a factor, because obviously the public school is for free, and then some public school you have food, depending, obviously the food sometimes is not that great, but there's a lot more of like cost that is less expensive when you're not homeschooling if you have your kids in public school. But I mean, except that those are the 2 cons. So I don't have a lot of cons, I have a lot more pros, and that's why I homeschool. But please let me know, what are your thoughts, what are your pros and cons, and if you're thinking about homeschooling, what are you like, why are you on the fence on? Maybe it's your husband, your significant other that is not too sure. Well, I honestly talked about my husband so many times about why I want to homeschool, and then the facts on how it is at public school, and sometimes it can be scary, and so many things, all that I've just talked to you about. So my husband is on board, but he would be on board as well for public school, whatever I would want to do, because I'm the one that does all the homeschooling and then prepare everything. But yeah, so that was pretty much it. Just remember that this was part of a collaboration hosted by Daisy at Journey in the Home. So make sure to go check out her channel, and then the playlist is going to be down below in the description box. So make sure to go check out the other mamas that are all going to be sharing about this subject. If homeschooling is worth it. So in my opinion, definitely worth it, and I love it. So thank you for being here. Make sure to subscribe to my channel, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time. Bye.